Good afternoon, grade 11. How are you? I hope this video finds you well and healthy. Today, inshallah, we will continue talking about the same unit, Unit 7, Literature, and we are going to go over some exercises in your workbook. We did exercise 1, 2, and 3, page 40 in your workbook together. And now let's move to exercise 5. It's page 41. Exercise 5, page 41 in your workbook. Okay. So in exercise 5, you have vocabulary here. Those vocabulary, we discussed them together in the class, if you remember. You need to complete the paragraph with the missing term or the missing words from the books, and he says that one word is not needed. Let's go over them again. Novel is a tale or a story, and in this time it's really big. It's long. It's taller than a story, and it discusses so many themes, and it has a lot of plots. Also, the characters are complex, and they have a lot of feelings and emotion. So, as the novel that we discussed yesterday, Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist is regarded as a novel. We have biography. Biography, if you remember, it is a book that discusses or talks about the life of a famous person, such as the life of a traveler, or the life of a writer, or the life of a novelist, or the life of a king, maybe, or a queen. So biography, it talks about the life and death of a famous person. Play, like Shakespeare's plays, it has acts, actors, and dialogue, and in most cases it is performed on stage. Plays, it's an acting performance. Non-fiction is basically the opposite of novel and short stories, because in non-fiction books we talk about facts, real things, like when you talk about animals, plants, volcano, natural disasters, when you talk about natural resources, books that deal with people, books that deal with nature, books that deal with volcanoes, earthquakes are called non-fiction books. Anthology is what? Anthology is a collection of literary works, and in most cases it is a collection of poems. Collection of poems is an anthology. Short stories, it's a story, but it's short this time. Okay, let's read the first one. The Life and Work. This is a title of a book. The Life and Work of Ibn Battuta gives an account, خلينا نقول information of the journeys and writings of the 14th century traveler. So this book talks about the life of Ibn Battuta, and the right answer is biography. Number 2, Wuthering Heights, a new edition of perhaps Emily Bronte's most famous. Emily Bronte is what? Is a novelist, and she lived in the 19th century, and she writes a novel called Wuthering Heights. So Wuthering Heights is what? It's a novel. Number 3, The Young Person's Encyclopedia of Space. So this book talks about or discusses space, real things, facts. So it's what? It's a non-fiction work. Non-fiction work because it discusses facts. Number 4, Poems of the Masters, a poetry anthology collecting the most important works ever written. فبالتالي Poems of Masters, this is what? This is an anthology. Okay, because it is a collection of poems. Collection of poems is called anthology. Dubliners an excellent collection of 15 short stories by James Joyce. James Joyce is an Irish short story writer and he comes from Ireland, short novelist. He wrote many novels and short stories, and one of them is Dubliner. Do you know Dublin? Dublin is the capital city of Ireland, as far as I remember, and this collection of short stories, okay, discusses the life of the Dubliner, اللي هم people who live in Dublin. Okay. So if you read Dubliner, you are going to find a lot of short stories, وهدول short stories talk about the life of people who live in Dublin. Okay, I hope the vocabulary clear. In exercise 6 we have a text, and this text is a book review. Okay, who wrote this review? Somebody called Saleh. So Saleh wrote a review for a book. Now we are going to know which book we are talking about. What do you think is the relationship between the picture and the book that Saleh has reviewed? Now let's go to the text here. It's the same page 41, and let's read the text together and try to find what is the relationship between the text and the picture. Okay, so before I move on to the text, let's now just go back over the word review. So this means this person Saleh, okay, read a book and he wrote his feedback, or he wrote his opinion, or he wrote let's say a review about this book, or maybe you can write a review about a film. So you write your own feedback and your own opinion about any book or any short story that you have already read. So The Wanderer is one of Gibran Khalil Gibran's masterpieces. So Gibran Khalil Gibran is a novelist and a short story writer. He wrote what? The Wanderer. He comes from Lebanon. So the writer here is not Gibran Khalil Gibran, it's Saleh. ليه? Because he writes a review about Gibran Khalil Gibran Wanderer. Okay? He says that it's a masterpiece. What is the meaning of masterpiece? Masterpiece means a great job or a popular job. The greatest job that he has ever written. So I read a lot of books by Gibran, and this one is my favorite. So here he is stating his opinion about Khalil's book, Gibran Khalil's book. It is a collection of 52 short stories. فبالتالي Wanderer, it's not a novel, it's not a play, it's what? It's a collection of short stories, which all revolve around the theme of people being unable to communicate. So revolve means moves. So هدول 52 stories talk about or discuss the life of people who are unable to communicate, unable to talk, unable to express their feelings and emotions. So with another, and manage their different emotions. فبالتالي those people خلينا نقول are isolated from society, are isolated from each other, are isolated from their family and friends. So here you can find the connection between this one and this picture. This person is sitting all alone and he's unable to communicate with anybody in his society. Okay. The book contains many moral lessons. The book contains many moral lessons, many ethic lessons, lessons that you learn from them, and pieces of wisdom, which are delivered to the reader through very simple stories. هلا هدول lessons are sent to the readers, okay, through what? Those short stories. يعني we learn from them. We learn from these short stories. Now, reading this book was a very relaxing experience. I found myself in this book and felt that it is related so much to my daily life. هلا لأنه هذا البوك discusses the life of normal people such as you and me. فبالتالي أنت you think that you are one of those people who are in these short stories. فبالتالي it's a realistic book. It made me rethink a few things in my life and see them from a different, deeper perspective, from a different point of view. You change your opinion about many things in your life after you read such a masterpiece literary work. It is a good book for one to keep and live through every now and then. So you use this book in order to take lessons and in order to be able to find solutions for the obstacles that you may face in your life. Okay, now in exercise 7, complete the following table with the words and expressions from the books. هلا هون you need to differentiate between fact and opinion. Fact and opinion. Opinion يعني the things that you feel about something. And basically those things change or vary from one person to another. Okay, it depends on their own perspective and their own point of view. يعني for example I don't find that Khalil Gibran's book is a masterpiece. Okay, for example الأجنحة المتكسرة is his masterpiece. So this is my point of view of the book. This is my opinion. Whereas fact is something that is essential, it's fixed and no one actually can change it. Now you read those expressions and decide if they are facts or if they are opinion. هلا my favorite, which is an expression we use it to talk about our opinion. It's my favorite, but يعني مش بالضرورة يكون my favorite as well. So what do you have to do, guys, is to write me a table in your notebook or in on your books here and divide those things into facts and opinion. This is your homework for today. Okay, and send it to me via WhatsApp. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.